Hello everyone, welcome to the Rest in God YouTube channel. Today's topic is the Providence of God. Let's look at a definition in the Nelson Bible Dictionary. Providence is a continuous activity of God in His creation by which He preserves and governs. It affirms God's absolute lordship over His creation and confirms the dependence of all creation on the Creator. It denies the universe is governed by chance or fate. So how far does the providence of God extend? The providence of God extends to over the nations. Psalm 103:19. The Lord has established His throne in heaven, and His kingdom rules over all. Over the nations. Psalm 66:7. He rules forever by His might. He keeps His eyes on the nations. The rebellious should not exalt themselves. God carefully watches over the affairs of nations. Over life and death. Psalm 139:16. Your eyes saw me when I was formless. All my days were written in your book and planned before a single one of them began. God is sovereign over both life and death. Success and failure. Psalm 75:6-7. Exaltation does not come from the east, the west, or the desert, for God is the judge. He brings down one and exalts another. God has the right to exalt or humble a person. Provides for us. Genesis 22:8. Abraham answered, God Himself will provide the lamb for the burnt offering, my son. Then the two of them walked on together. In Abraham's story, God provided the lamb for the burnt offering. In our everyday life, God will provide the provisions we need to sustain our life. God's protection. Psalm 91:3. He Himself will deliver you from the hunter's net, from the destructive plague. One of the clearest illustrations of God's providence is found in Joseph's story. Let's take a look. In Genesis 37:2-11, Joseph has a dream that his brothers would one day serve him. Making matters worse, Joseph's dad would favor him among the most and would give him a multicolored coat, leading to the brothers eventually becoming jealous. In Genesis 37:12-36, the brothers would sin against Joseph and sell him into slavery. In Genesis 39, Joseph would do well in the slave master's house, however adversity would soon come. The slave master's wife would falsely accuse Joseph of trying to seduce her, and he would be thrown in prison. In Genesis 40, Joseph would again gain attention because he would interpret a royal official's dream. However, the royal official would get out of jail and forget to tell the Pharaoh about it. So Joseph would stay in prison 2 more years. Finally, in Genesis 41, Joseph would have his opportunity. Joseph would have the opportunity to interpret the dream of the Pharaoh. He would do so successfully and be promoted to Prime Minister of Egypt. Joseph's story clearly illustrates God's providence working through adversity and even someone else's sin against us to accomplish the greater good. Now it's time for the application and conclusion portion. God is not a deist God. He didn't create the earth and then leave it up to chance or fate. God's providence governs the universe, the nation, and even life and death. God is in control of all things, as Romans 8:28 says. We know that all things work together for the good of those who love God, those who are called according to his purpose. As always, I hope this helped you, and may God bless you.